Hello, guys. My name is Khang, and today we're going to continue on Chapter 4 of the book Cultivate Happiness, Master Life. Chapter 4 Harmonious and Happy Marriage. The Wise Man. Now, let's discuss harmonious and happy marriage. In your opinion, what makes a harmonious and happy marriage? The girl. Before I answer this question, please allow me to share two stories of my friends' marriages, which I feel are harmonious and happy. One friend has been married for nearly 20 years, and one has been married for just 2 years. 20-year happy marriage. Yinchi is a bank employee, married for 20 years. Her husband is a doctor at an international hospital. I feel they have a very happy and fulfilling life together. The other day, I met her and had the chance to hear her share the reasons why she has a happy marriage. She gave some perspectives. First, no division between husband and wife's responsibilities. Yinchi shared that when they built her house, overseeing the construction progress from pile driving to completion should have been her husband's responsibility, but since he was busy, she was willing to take on those tasks. She also takes the car to the garage for maintenance and repairs when her husband is unable. In turn, when she is busy, her husband helps her with the household chores like washing dishes, doing laundry, and cleaning the house. The couple is always ready to support each other. I appreciate their willingness to take on each other's task, with a very cheerful, grateful, and respectful attitude. Second, caring for and loving each other. She is afraid of blood. Her husband understands this, so he often takes care of food preparation tasks before cooking. Sometimes on weekends, he shows great respect for her sleep. When she wakes up, there is already a lavish meal prepared. In turn, she understands her husband's taste very well and cooks dishes that he likes. Third, subtle romance and simple gifts intertwined with daily life. She shared that her husband shows romance through very simple actions. On his way home from work, he might buy her a serving of her favorite chicken salad, a few sweet cakes that she often eats, or a jar of special dip from her favorite shop. He pays attention to the little details in her daily life, not extravagant gifts on big holidays. When she comes home from work late, she often finds that her husband has already prepared a glass of honey lemonade and chilled it in the fridge for her. There are many more examples, and she also cared for her husband similarly. Fourth, transparent finances. She shared that financially, the couple agreed on a joint fund, and she manages it, and her husband is authorized to use it freely when needed. Fifth, always make time for quality time together. Always prioritize family first. He has a very special schedule. He often has to travel to other provinces for work. When timing allows, he takes Inchi and the family along. So the whole family gets to be together for the journey. Outside of work hours, they spend the time experiencing the world together. Sixth, instead of spending a lot of time blaming, spend more time loving. The couple shares the same philosophy. Life is short and time together is not much. So it is important to cherish each other. Instead of blaming, resenting, and suspecting, it's better to spend more time caring for and loving each other. That is some of what Inchi shared with me. She said that for her, a harmonious and happy marriage is simple. Her 20 years of married life has flowed smoothly and lightly like that. Harmonious and happy marriage of a newlywed couple. Nyawin is 38 years old this year and has been married for 2 years. People feel that she got married quite late, but for Nyawin, it was because she hadn't found a suitable partner yet. So she waited. At 36, she attracted the man she desired. Her concept of marriage is: first, marriage must come from love between both sides. She married her husband because of their love for each other, not for any other reason. After a period of dating, she and her husband felt sincere love for each other and decided to get married, hoping to bring happiness to one another. Second, agree on perspectives and be honest with each other. Typically, people get married out of admiration for each other, so when living together, the admiration may no longer exist, leading to disagreements after marriage. But she and her husband are different. She understood that and was honest with him before getting married, and he was the same. Beside each other's merits, they also understood and tolerated each other's weaknesses. Third, place the other person's interest above one's own, but don't diminish one's own interest. She and her husband always think about each other and always want the one they love to be better off. He respects all her hobbies and encourages and motivates her to study and develop. So he is willing to take on all of the housework for her to be able to study. In turn, she also encourages and motivates him to do what he loves. The couple is also often share their ups and downs with each other. Fourth, the two families become one. She believes her husband's parents and siblings are like her own parents and siblings. She often takes the initiative to care for her husband's family, and like calling to ask how they are, buying gifts, and loving them like her own family. And he's the same, caring for her family, possibly even more than she cares for his. Fifth, growing together in health. The couple enjoys happy moments jogging or walking together in the morning. They also pay close attention to family meals, from ensuring food quality to cultivating a cooking habit, and always takes time to experience and enjoy the meals they make to themselves. Sixth, the origin of happiness comes from within oneself. She believes a harmonious and happy marriage stems entirely from within herself because when she is happy, she feels her husband will bring her even more happiness. She proactively trusts him and harbors good images of him in her mind. She always loves and appreciates him. She is grateful for and compassionate towards him. She accepts all of his pros and cons. The wise man. Do you feel the two marriages above have happiness? The girl. Yes, sir. The wise man. Why did you feel that way? What is your concept of harmonious and happy marriage? The girl. I feel both of the above couples are always happy together, care for each other, love each other, understand each other, and are willing to share everything. So a harmonious and happy marriage is based on a foundation of love, trust, sharing, common perspectives of life, where partners orient towards the family. The wise man. You have a very profound view. To help you gain a deeper understanding, allow me to share some lessons taught to me by the wise one on the way of being husband and wife. The way of being husband and wife. The wise man. In your opinion, what is the primary need of a husband in marriage? The girl. I think that it is to be respected, eat good food, and have his sexual needs met. The wise man. There are many needs. The need for intimacy between men and women is inevitable because marriage requires maintaining the human race. I will share about this later. Regarding a human primary needs is in marriage, a husband has three main needs. The first is need to be recognized, supported, and understood. The girl. Please explain further, wise man. The wise man. Think about it. What does a man need from a woman who loves him? A girl. I think a husband needs care. The wise man. Understanding is this the first important factor because when husbands are understood, they feel like they have a kindred spirit beside them. Support helps them have more motivation to live, build their confidence, and develop strength. Recognition makes them feel they are valuable people who are useful to society. It brings them more joy every day. The girl. Very insightful and profound. If a wife understands, supports, and recognizes her husband this way, then marriage will be very happy. The wise man. Understanding, support, and recognition is just the first essential need in marriage. The girl. Yes, sir. The wise man. A husband's second essential need from his wife is gentleness. Do you think this is true? The girl. It's true that husbands often have a gentle wife, but many husbands prefer to have an intelligent, strong-willed wife, not one who is too docile or gentle. The wise man. How do you define a wife's gentleness? The girl. Gentleness means being considerate, gentle, and caring, right? The wise man. Gentleness means soothing, gentle, and pleasant. So when a wife meets her husband's need for gentleness, it will make the husband feel at ease by her side. The girl. Yes, I think beside making the husband feel at ease when with her, it also gives him the sense of peace being around her, because everything is gentle. The wise man. The girl. Teacher, what is the third essential need then? The wise man. That is respect. When respected, husbands will strive to protect those who respect them. The girl. Why is that? The wise man. Demonstrations of respect make others feel valued. Acting courteously and acknowledging the other's morals, intellectual, or prosperity values deepens the bond between spouses. The girl. I see. The wise man. In your opinion, what are these three essential needs of a wife? The girl. I think women's needs are quite simple too. Personally, I only need care to be listened to and to feel safe when I'm with him. The wise man. You're right. A wife has three essential needs: to be listened to feel protected and safe, and to be cherished, pampered, and flattered. If these needs are met, a wife will be happy. The girl. Yes, My marriage is happy because when I'm with my husband, I always feel safe. I'm always listened to when I share with him, and I'm always cared for, pampered, and flattered by him. 3 big issues in marriage. The wise man. Next, we'll continue discussing the big issues in marriage: love, sex, and finances. Since receiving guidance from the wise one, I fortunately handled these issues well, so my marriage has significantly improved. Girl, please guide me further, teacher. The wise man. Regarding love, when one feels respected, shared with, and treated with honesty and compassion by the others, the husband or wife will feel love for them. Regarding sex, harmony will be between the couple is vital. Regarding finances, the two should agree and be self-sufficient. The girl. Yes. Marriage, it will be harmonious and happy when all 3 elements above are present. 3 more, 3 less. The wise man. For a harmonious and happy marriage, spouses need to care more for each other, look at each other's positives, say more positive things, complain less, criticize less, and misunderstand less. The girl. Yes, in both of my friends' stories, the couples really cherish the moments together as husband and wife. They always care for each other, always looks to each other's strength, and yes, they seldom complain, criticize, or misunderstand each other. The wise man. Looking at the other's good side will make the good side grow more and more, and focusing on the positive will keep the family atmosphere happy. Always care for each other and put the other person's interest above one's own. Happily married couples rarely spend time complaining, criticizing, or misunderstanding each other. When there are unclear matters, they frankly sit and discuss to find solutions. From there, they move towards a more harmonious and happy marriage. The girl. Yes, that's right. 4 things spouses should do. The wise man. In your opinion, what should spouses do for each other to have a harmonious and happy marriage? The girl. I think spouses should care for each other, trust each other, think well of each other, and create conditions for each other to develop together. The wise man. I was fortunate to be taught by the wise one that for a harmonious and happy marriage, there are 4 things spouses should do. Think of each other's goodness, compliment each other's strength, empathize with each other's difficulties, and tolerate each other's shortcomings. The girl. Wonderful! Spouses who compliment each other's strength, think well of each other, empathize, and tolerate each other will be very happy. 4 sentences to say when spouses are together. The wise man. In your opinion, what should spouses often say to each other for a harmonious and happy marriage? The girl. I think they should say 4 healing sentences to increasingly strengthen the marriage bond. I love you so much. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. The wise man. Right. You should say those sentences often to keep the affection between husband and wife always bonded. Or you can say these sentences. I'm truly sorry. I was wrong. I trust you. I'm very proud of you. I love you. The girl. Yes, that's right. 4 common points between spouses. The wise man. In your opinion, what common points should a spouse have for a harmonious and happy marriage? The girl. I think they need to orient together towards the family, have common perspective on raising children, and have common aspirations. The wise man. For a harmonious and happy marriage, spouses must have these common points, common aspirations, and common living environment, common concerns about life, and common friends. The girl. Having these things in common would be wonderful. The wise man. Do you know about what needs to be remembered for a harmonious and happy marriage? The girl. I always remember there's no right or wrong in household matters. When the rice is boiling over, reduce the heat. When the husband is angry, reduce the words. The wise man. You're right. For a happy marriage, we must always remember household matters have no right or wrong, only harmony or disharmony. Home is the foundation and soul, and both are in the hands of a woman and her partner. The greatest woman in the world, power in the world, is love. The strongest weapon is the ability to move others. The girl. Yes. The wise man. There are 2 stories to tell you. Chicken and duck story. The wise man. Long ago, there was a newlywed couple going through the honeymoon. While walking hand in hand in the forest, they suddenly heard flap sounds. Husbands. How strange. In the middle of this pristine forest, there's suddenly a duck. Wife. That's a chicken, dear, not a duck. Right then, from the bushes came more flap, flap, flap sounds. Husband. It must be a duck. It can't be a chicken with that sound. Wife. What do you mean? It's a chicken. It's absolutely can't be a duck. The flap, flap sounds continue from the bushes. Husband. I insist anything I say must be right. It's definitely a duck. Wife. I insist anything I say to you must be right. I'm certain it's a chicken. Don't argue with me. Seeing his wife so angry, the caring husband said, All right, my darling. Okay, it's a chicken and not a duck. You're right, you're right. Wife, don't argue with me anymore, okay? After that, the couple continued walking hand in hand happily in the forest. The wise man. The story ends there. What would have happened if a chicken or duck appeared? The girl. I think if a chicken had run out, then for the rest of their lives, the wife would always be right, because whenever they argued, she could immediately bring up the chicken and duck story. Like, remember the day I told you it was a chicken, but you wouldn't listen to me? Turns out I was right. When do you ever win an argument with me? But if a duck had run out, then for the rest of the marriage, the husband would always be right, because whenever they argue, he could immediately bring out the chicken and duck story, saying, remember I told you it was a duck, but you insisted it was a chicken. Wouldn't you have ever been right about arguing with me? I think it's best that no animal appeared at all. The wise man. Have you observed how in society nowadays, most problems in marriage stem from the chicken and duck stories? Small daily matters get blown up by husband and wife, mostly because our greed and imagination, but nowadays, most marriages like to compete over right and wrong, so it's hard for the marriage to last long term. The important question is, what do you want in your marriage? If you want a harmonious and happy marriage, that is important to know who is right and who is wrong. The girl. Yes, teacher, I believe marriage must be happy. So who is in the right and who is the wrong, and truly unimportant to me? The wise man. A husband who recognizes his wife is forever flawless. If any issues arise, the root is from himself. It's the same for the wife towards her husband. If you can recognize this, then congratulations to you. The girl. Yes, I understand, teacher. Thank you. Story of good people and bad people. The wise man. Let me tell you another story. There were two families living next to each other in the same apartment building. One day, the two husbands went out together to throw away trash. Husband one blurted out, I see your family is so happy and harmonious. I've lived here many years and never heard your family argue. My wife and I, on the other hand, argue all the time. Do you have any secret tips? Tell me, please. Husband two. I'll tell you, but don't get mad because your family has all good people. You're not happy. My family has all bad people, but we are happy. Husband one. How can that be? Husband two. I once witnessed your wife go to the kitchen and accidentally break a glass. She snapped. Why did you put the glass so close to the edge of the table? I broke it. In her mind, she thought that the broken glass might be your fault because she is a good person. How could she be at fault? At that time, you snapped back. You were careless. The glass is on the table and had nothing to do with me. You broke it and blamed me. And you thought that she was the one who blamed because you are also a good person, so you cannot possibly be at fault. At that moment, your son came out and accidentally stepped on the shard of glass, cutting his leg. He snapped, Mom and Dad, why do you have to sit there arguing instead of cleaning up the trash? I've stepped on glass and cut my leg. Your son is also a good person, so you didn't see any fault in the situation. My family is different. I feel that I'm a person with defects. So when the same thing happened, I immediately felt that it was because of me and that my wife broke the glass. I said, I'm sorry, I accidentally left the glass on the edge of the table. Are you okay? My wife also apologized, saying, I was too careless. I sorry I broke the glass. My wife also perceives herself as a flawed person. She felt the incident stemmed from her, and my children have the same perception. So my family simply has a harmonious and happy life. The wise man. In your opinion, what problem did the first man realize? The girl. I think he must have understood that from now on, if he wants a harmonious family, he should understand everything that happens stems from him. If he continues thinking that he's a good person, then he will see others as bad, so the family will be unhappy. The wise man. To understand and love each other better, husband and wife must have ups and downs. No family is without anger and resentment, appreciation and gratitude for each other's present. The wise man. Let me tell you another story. There was a newlywed groom, a few days into the marriage, returned to visit his wife's family. Amid their conversation, his father-in-law asked, How do you feel about your wife? Groom. She's wonderful. Father-in-law. Maybe there's 6 months or a year, you won't feel that way anymore and start feeling your wife has problems. 3 or 5 years from now, you may feel, why did I marry this woman? 10 years, 20 years later, you may feel, I've lived in prison for so long. Son-in-law, I've advised you if your wife were better, maybe she would have married another man. This story is titled, Grateful for My Wife's Flaw. It's because the woman has flaws that the man has the opportunity to marry her. The girl, yes, that's right. The wise man, do you remember the conditions that formed the piece of paper earlier? The trees, the labors, the factory, and so on. If not enough conditions are met, the paper will not form. Your marriage has met all the conditions, so it came about. Have appreciation and gratitude for this predestined relationship. The presence of the other, the idea that for you there is him, and for him there is you. The girl. It's true that when you appreciate and are grateful, your marriage becomes very light, simple, fun, and happy. Sometimes I think just my husband's presence is enough to be grateful for. I don't need him to do any extra work for me. It's not a coincidence for someone to appear in my life. Their presence always carries a certain meaning, and I'm grateful to my husband for appearing in my life to help me grow more and to help me know happiness, freedom, love, and compassion. The wise man. Congratulations on understanding this. If you always remain touched by your husband's presence, by the little things he does for you every day, you will always retain the precious energy of appreciation and gratitude in marriage, and you will always have a happy, harmonious marriage. Girl. Yes. Internal love with compassion. The wise man. In marriage, most love arises from admiring each other, but when living together, the admiration may no longer exist, so it's challenging to have internal love. The girl. The wise man. Internal love is replaced by mutual compassion, replaced by respect, understanding, and acceptance of each other. When living in the compassionate environment of others, people tend to self-improve towards goodness. The girl. Yes, it's true that I wasn't as good as I am now, but thanks to my husband's compassion, I changed for the better compared to before. The wise man. Marriage is like a long journey. Imagine each mistake of your spouse as a rock. During that journey, if we hold on to the other's mistakes forever, it's like carrying many rocks in our luggage, and surely one day we won't have enough strength to make it to the end of the journey. The girl. Yes, compassion is indispensable for a harmonious and happy marriage. So that's the end of chapter 4. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time on chapter 5.